Hi. Um, Thank you, Carol and Hank. I am happy to be with you to share more about the project and more about my life. But first, I want to talk about why I am a humanist. My humanism is influenced by my curiosity. My reading introduced me to the atheism of Richard Dawkins and the paleontologist Stephen Jay Gould. I became convinced that there is no God, and yet we have to be good humans. I try to be good and be good to my neighbors and to, to the greater good of mankind. Today, I want to tell you about a project I led in my community. The project involved a farming method called Zai. Zai that uses termites to regenerate soil. But first, let's talk about why this project is necessary and the problem I wanted to solve. Chad is a diverse country in the center of Africa, and it's a very dry region called Sahel. As we know, Chad is one of the poorest countries in the world. Our lives is pervaded with many of the harsh conditions of nature. We have heat, flooding, droughts, and diseases. Also, there is famine, poverty, and corruption, and all social vices that impede human development. The GDP per capita of Chad is 590.31 US dollars. That is, it's 5% of the world's average. We also have high population growth, and from 1960 to 2022, our population grew 490.5%. While we have many problems in Chad, the most pressing is acute malnutrition. Acute malnutrition is common in Chad. 1 in 6 people are suffering from malnutrition. And this doesn't just affect people, it affects everything. It affects our education and our economy. It even affects climate change. And here we have a typical picture of a farm in the Sahel. Here in the Sahel, there is 8 months of completely dry weather. So the land here becomes completely hard. Most farmers in Chad still plow the lands in rows, which does not help produce fertile soil, but increases the incidence of erosion and also fosters desertification. And with each passing year, the situation is getting worse. Why is the situation getting worse? The situation is getting worse because the desert is growing. Plus, our traditional farming method is leading to more desertification because it strips the land of its nutrients. It is a vicious cycle of global warming, desert encroachment, low crop yield, and food insecurity. Since our soil and climatic conditions decrease local food production, We in Chad rely on food importation, and this increases poverty because the foods are at high cost. The solution, Zai farming method. Zai is an agricultural method that involves digging holes and then adding organic matter. These holes or pits capture rainwater, and the manure attracts termites to regenerate the barren dirt. But there is another thing that Zai does, and what makes it more valuable. Zai doesn't just adapt to climate change, Zai mitigates climate change. This method called Zai can be used to grow trees and create forests. Forest captures carbon and creates rainfall, thereby reducing or reversing desertification. Where does it come from? Though it is an ancient practice, Yakuba Sawadogo, a farmer from Burkina Faso, evolved and promoted the method over the past 40 years. Still, many communities have not heard of it. This is probably due to communication gap and absence of agricultural extension workers in Chad. Using Zai, Yakuba grew a forest where there was once barren land. By 2016, Zai had helped regenerate tens of thousands of hectares in Burkina Faso. How does it work and why does it work? Holes, water, nutrients, termites results in the formation of fertile soil pockets where plants develop its roots. First, the holes captures water, then manure and compost release nutrients. Termites are attracted to the nutrients. Termites eat the nutrients to produce soil, and then termite tunnels expand the fertile area. Despite the poor condition of arid Sahel desert in Chad, this method works because the pockets filled with water and compost reduces nutrients that attract termites whose activities transform and expand the organic manure. The process results in the formation of moist fertile pockets where plants develop its roots. How we did it. Our Zai project was taught to 8 women to enable them teach back to their immediate community. I went from farm to farm to talking to women to participate in the project. I spoke to about 10 women. 10 of them agreed to join, and in the end, 2 did not show up, probably due to the fact that they had something else to do. The women that participated in the project have never heard of this method, although it is an ancient practice, except for one of them, whose grandmother had taught her, but she had forgotten. Here we have the equipment that we use for this project. We have a jerry can with water, a hoe or a digger, and then a sack of compost or manure. Our funding. We spent the fund on 6 items majorly. We bought poultry manure, water, motorcycle rental and gas, soybean seeds, jerry cans, and hoe. The items that cost more were poultry manure, water, and motorcycle rental. And we use soybean seeds because here in Chad, we have a stable drink here that is made from soybean. The process. The process involves 4 main steps. The first one involves digging the hole or a pit. Then the second one involves addition of manure or compost. Then the step 3, planting of the seeds. And then step 4, watering the pit. Termites are expected to be attracted to the manure and then lay eggs that will later hatch. The obstacles and challenges we faced during this project were: 1, Zai is a method that requires more manual labor because it involves digging holes in dry season. Secondly, it takes time to get Zai pockets working because they require constant daily watering. And thirdly, the farmers we have here in Chad prefer to do things as they've always done. Things I would like to do different next time. Because I would like to start just before the rain falls so that it's not necessary for me to buy water. Secondly, I will evolve the Zai method to potentially speed up its process. And third, I would like to plant it in a community of young people so they can learn and be able to use it. In conclusion, here is a picture. To my left is a picture of a soy seedling growing from a Zai pit. How will I know if the project is a success? There are 2 ways I will know if the project is a success, and they are: firstly, if the plants grew and thrived, which, as we can see from the picture here, the plant is growing. Second, I will know if it's a success if the farmers that were taught the project adopt the method. And how will I know if the project succeeds long term? There are 2 methods I propose to know to enable me know if this project is a success but long term. And the first one is by comparing the crop yield of the Zai project to the crop yield of other farmers that use normal traditional methods. And then also how many farmers adopt it permanently. That will tell me if the project succeeds long term. Because if it succeeds short term, then other farmers will keen into it and then use it permanently. What is next? Well, I would like to plant 400 fruit trees in public schools in Facha, Chad. This way, it will enable us grow edible forests, teach Zai to young people, provide some sort of food security, and also regenerate the soil. And at this point, I would like to say